Hey everybody, this is Rico. So this is going to be a video about Insane Trilogy with the PowerMod by Beta M. If those of you who don't know what that is, I want to say about a year ago, Beta made a quote-unquote mod, which is really just like a file manipulation, where he replaced a handful of files within like Steam's folders for NST, and it allowed the game to trick Crash 1 into thinking it's Crash 2, so you have the slide in it, but it also made it so that in all of the games, you start with all the power-ups, but in the case of Crash 1 and 2, that's just the double jump and the running shoes, and you start the game with Coco. I was messing around with it in Crash 2 and found that you can switch to Coco at points where you're not normally able to switch characters, and there's been some interesting things I've found by messing with this that I wanted to share, that if a potential like power mod set of categories ever became a thing, this could be useful. So I'm gonna go through the entirety of Turtle Woods and then like the opening of Snowgo to show it off. So we have Coco immediately, and immediately upon spawning in the warp room, you just immediately switch to her, which you would not normally be able to do because you're in the middle of a spawn animation. I don't know if this is just a side effect of the file that Beta made, but basically I'm gonna go through the entirety of Turtle Woods and get the crystal, both gems, and the relic. Alright, what is this part? Really not forget things in this game that I've run for 2 years. So because I'm going through the whole level, this might be a pretty lengthy video, but I want to show it to get like my point across. So now look how angry Coco is when she does the running. It's pretty great. She's so determined. Okay, I know that's there. There we go. Also, to show alongside with the running, like you see I have the running shoes, but I also have double jump. But there's no like there's no super body slam, there's no death tornado spin. This is just how it works in Crash 2. For some reason those aren't, and there's no bazooka. For some reason those just aren't programmed in Crash 1 and 2, I guess. Alright, so upon exiting the level, I'm gonna switch to Crash. And then he started the animation where he was throwing out the crystal, and then I switched to Coco, and also immediately ran right back into the level. So you notice the crystal's gone, but the gem is still there. So what happened is that because Crash began the animation where he pulls the crystal out of whatever orifice he has it in, and then throws it into the warp room, the game considers me to have gotten the crystal. And because of that, it's now considered to, like, I have it. But because I canceled the animation before I threw the gem, it never gave the gem to me, even though it recognizes that I collected it. This is a known thing that happens in other instances. If you check the Insane Trilogy leaderboards for like every category of Crash 2 and 3, you'll notice that something called item duping is banned. This is basically the same idea, where you like you either like quit out of the game or you do something to force the gem throwing animation to never happen. And then it stays in your inventory, and this actually carries over if you quit out of the game and then like boot the game back up. So basically, what happened is that like it knows I have the gem, but it hasn't given it to me. But when I finish the level, it will give the gem to me. So now I'm gonna do the 1 cycle. Hopefully I'm gonna do the 1 cycle. I can get my point across with this even if I get a Sapphire Relic, but I would rather not because gold is not hard. Maybe gold is hard. Alright, so now we have the blue gem, and we're about to get the relic. Alright, so this time I'm going to... First off, I'm going to switch to Crash just because it'll let me do this. And then I'm going to wait for him to start all 3 animations. Alright, so now you see, like, the relic is not there, but the game thinks I have it. So at this point, I have complete control of Coco. And basically what this does is as long as you cancel the animation after it started, you will have collected that item. And then if I enter any of these levels and then leave it, the relic will be there. So I'll just enter Snowgo and immediately leave it. And then here I'll also show the thing with immediately switching. So I did trigger a cutscene. Somehow, I guess. But there, the gold relic's there. So there's a lot of implications with this that could be done in a potential PowerMod run if that was ever to become a thing. For one, obviously this skips a huge amount of the like throwing the crystal up in the warp room animations. It lets you put Crash or Coco closer to the spawn portal. So like while you're jumping out, you can switch characters and then immediately go back in when everything's done. But the real important thing it does is that it would potentially let you skip every single cutscene in the warp room, because you notice that like through all of that, I didn't trigger a cutscene until I left Snowgo. So that, along with like having double jump in the running shoes, I think this could like significantly shake up 102 to the point where like a 102 PowerMod category would actually be pretty interesting. But obviously nothing's set in stone yet, but this is just something I wanted to like share this just because I just found it and it was crazy. The way I stumbled upon this was Crody did like a test like PowerMod any % run and mentioned how you could immediately switch to Coco and go into Turtle Woods, which let you skip the Cortex cutscene. So I tried that, and this is just how I found this out. And I'm pretty sure like this is just not a thing in the base game. Like you shouldn't be able to switch between Crash and Coco as you're coming out of a warp room or out of a level. So there's a lot of potential with this. So maybe it'll go somewhere if this category ever becomes a thing. But yeah, that was all I wanted to show. Thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.